This is one of my favorite questions because I think it really impacts our quality of life and can make us very self-conscious. So I love helping people sort this problem out. When I think of sweating, I look at it as our body's natural air conditioning system. So what happens is when our body temperature rises, our autonomic nervous system sends signals to our over 2 million sweat glands. And what they then do is release their fluid to the surface of the skin, and as that evaporates, it cools our body down. Now, some of us have a higher, quote, sympathetic tone than others, which means we are just innervated with all of these little nerves that send out signals to our super active sweat glands. And if you have that tendency, you're sort of born with it, and that part you can't change. But the part you can affect is any factors that might make it worse. So for example, caffeine, not great for people that are big sweaters. Spicy foods, a disaster. Often people will notice immediately when they start eating spicy foods that they just breaking out in a full-on sweat. Other things, obviously being in overheated environments, so hot yoga, probably not a great option for people that sweat profusely. And anxiety or emotional stress of any kind. So in as much as you can manage that, that's definitely helpful as far as the sweating goes. Sweating is tough because it often, the famous quote, never let them see you sweat. People feel self-conscious because they feel nervous and they feel like the other person that they're connecting with is recognizing that they're nervous. Then there's also the unfortunate body odor that often goes along with people that sweat. So what can you do if you're a big sweater? Aside from managing the things we've already talked about, there are prescription strength antiperspirants and deodorants that can help manage the obvious problems. And then a relatively newer approach is having a dermatologist actually inject Botox into the areas where you sweat excessively. So for example, into your armpits or into the palms of your hands or the soles of your feet. Can make a huge difference, and that works by calming down the nerve impulses that send these little signals to the sweat glands. So there is hope. Don't get discouraged, and never let them see you sweat.